Hey girls, I needed to jump on this evening, come talk to you for just a minute. I actually wanted to do a whole teaching tonight, but never got around to it. So I normally have to put the kids to bed, do my cleaning, take a shower. At that time is usually when I kind of ponder and think about things the Lord's telling me or showing me. And so anyway, I have just been thinking on some things, and I was getting ready for bed, and I heard clear as day, deliverance isn't easy. And I laughed, and because I know how true that statement is. And here, I don't know how or when, but somehow telling people and ourselves that Jesus can deliver us has translated into we do nothing. And that is so far from the truth. Jesus absolutely can deliver us. You know, when we go to him and we cry out to him, he's able. When we're willing to release whatever it is we're trying to get delivered from. But deliverance is not easy. It's not just, oh, God, take this from me and it's done, wash my hands, and it's never the same again. If you read throughout the Bible, especially in the New Testament, when people receive their healings, receive their deliverance, it clearly states how the getting there was rough, how there'd be a pushing through, how, their situations were ongoing, and it always talks about how that there had to be an importance to the fact that it was stated how they got there. And I believe that's because the writer of the New Testament was trying to show us that it takes work, it takes effort, it takes pushing. Sophie is saying that Paul said he beat his flesh daily into submission. It's definitely work. It's a battle. I mean, it's a consistent thing. The moment we believe, oh, it's nothing to it, all we got to do is say Jesus, and all of a sudden everything's fine, everything's good, we have fallen into a very deadly trap because, again, there is no name above Jesus. He is well able to deliver us, but it takes work. It is not easy. And I think that's why we get so discouraged, because we feel like, oh, well, God can deliver us. I'm crying out and I'm praying, but he's not doing anything. But what else does it take? Sometimes it takes more than that. Not because God himself needs to do it, but because something in the flesh needs crucified. Something inside of you needs beat down. I tell this story all the time about my deliverance of cigarettes. How there was no prayer. I simply went to an altar. I laid the cigarettes down. But the thing about it, it wasn't easy then either. You know, it's a simple story. It's a simple testimony. I say it all the time. I felt it in my spirit. I listened to counsel. I followed a testimony. I laid the cigarettes down. But that's the very basics of the story. There was so much more to it, that service. You know, I danced and I cried out at that altar for, I don't know exactly how long, because I don't know how long that service went, but I was at that altar for a long time. I worked it out at that altar. I ran, I jumped, I moved, I cried, I threw my hands up. You know, I told you the story how whenever I decided to go up, I actually said, God, either you're going to deliver me or I'm going to make a fool of us both. It wasn't a challenge to God. It was a simple stating, saying, God, I cannot do this outside of you. And I believe that's where God honored that. But again, it wasn't easy. I mean, I cried till my face was burning. My lips was chapped. My voice was hoarse. It wasn't easy. It was very easy being obedient to what God was saying, but it was very hard working it out because, see, God did meet me, but I had to work out the things of the flesh at that altar. So again, I don't know how Jesus can deliver you has translated into you do nothing. Girls, you have to do something. You have to put work into it. You got to fight through it. You have to be determined in your mind, in your heart, in your decisions. You know, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's fixing your marriage, whether it is fighting through generational curses, getting delivered from substances. I mean, the list goes on. It's an ongoing thing. This is not an easy task. So don't become discouraged just because it doesn't happen at one altar service. You know, it may take some working out with your flesh. It may take fighting through. It may take more than one time fasting. It may take years. It took me 3 years to become delivered from cigarettes. But it also took 3 years for my flesh to get in full agreement. And I can't even really say the flesh was fully agreed that service, you know, but I made it get in agreement that time. So I just wanted to encourage somebody tonight that just because it seems like it should be easier, it's not supposed to be. Read the people in the New Testament. They pushed through. They fought their way. They got to Jesus. And as soon as they met Jesus, their issue was changed by the encounter of meeting him. But it took work. It took effort. It took determination. So if you're working and you're seeking for deliverance, just know it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost sweat. It's going to cost work. But God is able. So don't give up. Keep fighting till you find him and get that encounter, because once you have an encounter with him, whatever you need will be met there in that encounter. So girls, be encouraged. Don't give up. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep trying to get there, because as soon as you can, whatever your need is, whatever your deliverance that you're seeking after, you will get it. Good night, girls. I'll see you tomorrow during our day 1 of testimonies.